Hello, friends. Thank you so much for joining us for New Year's Eve and Who's Invited. This is the inaugural episode of Who's Invited. And we're going to be talking to a couple of friends of mine, and we're going to be talking about who we would invite to our fabulous star studded New Year's Eve party if we weren't in quarantine with COVID. And, if we knew these people too. These are the people who are kind of friends in our head or people who have made a splash in 2020, and we want to just say, you know what, we really like what they're doing, and yes, we would invite them if we knew them. All right, so for tonight I have a couple of my dear friends to join me, and we're just going to chop it up and have a little conversation. So my first guest is a longtime friend of mine. Her name is Keisha Ford. She is a tech guru. She's also a bibliophile. If you want to know about a book, she's probably read it, okay? And she's a shenanigans enthusiast. So, I mean, she's a perfect guest for tonight. So, I'm going to go ahead and bring her in. All right, it's my dear friend, Keisha Ford. All right. Also, tonight, I got a really good friend. He is a shoe designer, footwear designer, and artist, and also a prison reform advocate. And once again, a really good friend of mine, known him for years. And we're going to have Johannes LaCour join us tonight. All right. And there they are. Yay. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Awesome. Glad to have you guys here tonight for Who's Invited, the inaugural episode. Yay. All right. So, all right. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. Feeling good.
Real good tonight.
Awesome. Okay. So, the premise. Actually, we do this every year, right, Keisha, where we sort of muse on who we would invite if we had this fantastic, fabulous New Year's Eve party. So, we're going to start with you. We're going to start with you. So, if we weren't in this COVID containment, so to speak, what kind of New Year's Eve party would you have?
So I would have like a house party, turn up, jam type deal with like lots of food, fun, adult beverages flowing, good music, and just people that you know and enjoy that you're going to have a good time with, like no new friends allowed. And just turn it up and ring in a New Year surrounded by the people that you know and love and enjoy.
All right, that sounds good. Now, who are you inviting?
Okay, because these are going to be people that I plan on knowing. Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe you plan on knowing. Yes. And then tell me at least one person that you know that you feel like other people should know.
Gotcha. So, of course, my very first person, forever, eternal invite to anything that I do is Jill Scott, my friend in my head, an honorary ESG girl. I'll go anywhere she goes. She can come to anything I have, whatever she want to come to. Yes.
What's an ESG girl for those of us that are asleep on ESG girl?
So my old school crew, that includes Shira, myself, Toya, Vanessa, Dana, Lori, Kisha. We're the East Side girls. We all grew up on the East Side of Chicago.
ESG is East Side girl.
Yes, East Side girl.
Super simple, right?
So ESG girl is an East Side girl.
Yes, the East Side
so I get it.
Girl.
But it flows the way we say it. It flows. The ES girls doesn't have the same cachet, right? Yeah. It's ESG.
No, not a gang, not
a gang. It's a group.
Growing up,
the East Side of Chicago is definitely something like
growing up, people would always ask us, "Oh, well, where do you live?" And so when we would say streets like Muskegon, or
Cheltenham,
they say, "Where's that?" We're like, "It's over east." And so they were like, "East of Stony, yes. East of Jeffrey, yes.
East of Yates,
yes." So, so that's where we got the name from, because this is where we all grew up. This is how we know each other. And so that's who we are.
Okay.
Yes, we've been together a mighty long time.
Right.
Okay, I just was curious.
Now everybody knows, because everybody always asks.
Yeah.
Let's hear about the rest of your guest list.
Right. So Jill Scott, she's honorary anyway. I don't know what side of town she is from, but she is in Chicago. She is an East Side girl. She's she has good stories. I can tell she's lived.
Mhm.
And she's gonna sing a little bit and talk a little bit of trash. She's gonna have some adult beverages with us. She's a fun time.
Okay.
My next guest, two of them together because they're under the same umbrella, the Twitter aunties. There's Dionne Warwick, who is lately new to Twitter, and she is having a ball talking all her trash to the people, being completely unfiltered.
She having a
And like, I
ball.
dare you to say something to her.
She would be fun at a party.
Say she having a ball, like a crystal ball.
She those days are behind her, sir. I mean, as far as I know, I don't know.
No
But
more
she is,
psychic network for her.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not in that. But she is out here asking Chance the Rapper why he had to add the rapper to his name, as if the people didn't know. She's asking The Weeknd why his name isn't spelled correctly, and I enjoy those shenanigans.
Ain't
Jack and
nobody
Harry.
told her to consult her crystal ball. If she came to me,
because they're respectful. Because she's a woman of a certain age. They are respectful, just like you should be with your aunties.
Isn't every woman a woman of a certain age?
Are you going to do this
You
every
know
time I
what she
speak?
means now.
Continue on.
Is this the energy we on? This is our energy going into the new year?
Her old lady. Okay, I like old ladies.
Then you call her one and let her tweet you. And Jack and Harry, she's got all that flirtatious energy from her character on 227, and clearly that is her in real life, and she keeps it going on Twitter. And the young men come at her, and she flirts with them all. I quite enjoy that too. It speaks to me.
It speaks to you. I wonder why.
I wonder why.
But you got your Twitter aunties, and you got Jill Scott.
Yes, and then I also have Regina Hall, who just turned 50. She's beautiful. She's hilarious. She can crack all the jokes with a straight face, which is something that I have not yet managed to learn how to do, but I respect that trait. She's only slightly older, so she's like a big sis in my head. Lots of fun. So those are my four.
She had that birthday song
the birthday song, yeah.
Yeah, birthday song was off the chain.
Yes. And if you've ever watched when she was going on her press tour for that movie she did with the young lady.
Little with Marcia
yes.
Martin.
And Issa, that whole press tour, every time they were in an interview, she would throw curveballs at the both of them, and she would never break. She would never break. She told Issa, I heard you got a little job on HBO. I got you that job, or you're horrible, you can't read, all kinds of stuff. She just throw the curve all in the interviews and never broke.
I remember that.
I enjoy that kind of chaos, and so she's on my list as well.
Okay.
So those are my four celebrity who's invited, that I wish I knew in my real life, so I could invite them to a party people. My real life person is Dr. Kimberly Manning, who is a soror of mine from Tuskegee. She works at Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta. And while she was just on TV discussing the COVID vaccine, making it really approachable for the people and understandable.
Yeah, I saw her video. It was
even before then, she's been telling stories of her time at Grady Hospital, putting, faces on these stories of lack of medical care or fear of being in the hospital, just really putting human faces on all of these stories. When we think about it kind of from a big perspective, but she made it really small. And I like that about her. Everybody should know her.
Yeah, I saw her video, and she really broke it down for somebody, who doesn't have a medical or science background. And, she made it approachable, talking about the gangster sales and everything.
Right.
So yeah, I agree. That's cool. That's
yes. Cool. So, if you want to check her out, she's Grady Doc on social media. But go check her out, and shout out to the Deltas, of course.
All right. So I took a poll of some of my friends, and they gave me their list. So I'm going to read a couple of them before we get to you, Johannes, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay. So my girlfriend Donna, she said she would invite Colin Kaepernick. She said that in this season of where, we've had a 2020 where we have, all seen and fought against injustice and that sort of thing. And he did that a while ago, and there were a lot of people who really didn't get it. And so she said she'd like to talk to him and see what he's thinking about now that, more people sort of get it. She likes Gary Owen. She said she'd invite him. She said she likes the way he talks about his Black family. And this one I love. She said she would invite Kavia James, the baby daughter of Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade.
Shady baby.
Yes, Shady Baby. That's what they call her. Her expressions always make it seem like she knows more than she's saying. And she said that she would invite her. She said Dr. Sanjay Gupta, he keeps it real too. And she said she would invite her friend Casey Kelly. Casey Kelly, she and her family, they started the company Blended Designs, where they make backpacks and t-shirts and other items that are empowering for young people. They now have a subscription box service, with books and teas and things like that. And they're really doing some really good and positive things. I had a chance to meet her. I had a group, we were doing entrepreneurship with students, and she came and talked to them of just about her journey and what her company was about, and she was pretty cool. And so that's Donna. Those are the people that Donna would invite. And another East Side girl, Vanessa. I asked her, and she said she would invite Meg the Stallion. Hold on, sorry, pause. I'm struggling. It's time for the percolators. For real, I thought I was gonna.
You can't see.
I can see better with these. Okay, so now I won't have to have a strained face when I do it. All right, so Meg the Stallion, she says she likes her whole, stilo, really unapologetic. And she said she would just want to be the girl to the right of her in the video. DJ Jazzy Jeff, she said for her, he is low-key the GOAT. And I would say maybe high-key the GOAT. She said Taraji says she's dope and her squad is too. So I'm assuming she wants Taraji and her squad to come. And she said Brandy Evans from P Valley. Oh, I wish I had put her on my list. I love her. So,
Shout out to the Deltas.
Oh, she's a Delta too. Okay. Yeah, so she's awesome as Mercedes on P Valley, but she's also a caregiver to her mother who has MS. And, she talks about it and she's very candid on her Instagram and on her social media. She said she would invite her. Now, she didn't say a person that she knew, but she said she would have Snoop there. She said, because Snoop would make it a party.
He's gonna bring the party.
He's gonna bring the party.
And maybe Martha Stewart.
Oh, and he might bring Martha Stewart. He might do that. Yeah, so those were her people. All right. So, all right, we're gonna come to you, sir. What about you? What kind of New Year's Eve party, if we could have one, what would you have and who would you invite?
If I was having a New Year's Eve party, I would probably have something. I got a lot of my closest people are not even around, like not in the city at least. I'm not close in proximity, so I would have something where I could invite them. We do something somewhere, and it would be friends and family. It'd be people I trust and people I can feel comfortable getting drunk and sloppy and falling asleep around.
Right, New Year's Eve, right?
Right, and having just some real good conversations, man. At this point, it's I done did a lot of partying, so to now it's fun to build with loved ones. You know what I mean? Still festive. We still gonna smoke and drink, but
would you showcase your design? Would it be something like that, or you would say that for another day?
Yeah, no, that would be. I wouldn't want it to be about me. That's something else. I would just want it to be specifically personal. Friends, loved ones, kicking it. You know what I mean? Just the camaraderie. I like that shit. I miss that.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So now, who would you invite?
So now this, I don't know if this, because I don't know half these people. They seem cool. I know them from social media, most of them. Some of them I know personally. So for most, also I go with the people I don't know first.
Okay.
There is a doctor, a woman on Instagram, a Muslim woman who's an author and a physician. Her name is Dr. Seema Yasmeen. I think she's been on CNN a few times. Okay. And I like her. She's super attractive, but she also she's through this whole pandemic, she's been, I discovered her maybe midway through the pandemic. And it was kind of a relief to hear somebody.
You saw that, Keisha, right?
Oh, she bad. She cold. but Instagram full of baddies, but she bad with big brains, right? And so I'm like, y'all, right? Like my bad big brain homies I go way back with.
All right.
Okay, I'll take that.
I'm trying to clean shit up. Hey, y'all notice we all wearing black? Is that are we mourning 2020? Are we? Is this the death of this year we looking at? I don't know.
No, I'm not mourning 2020. It can go.
Morbid? What'd you say?
I'm not mourning 2020. It can go. There's no mourning here.
2020 gets
it's funny. You know, I was thinking earlier, man. People talk about how just 2020 did this and 2020 did that, as if 2020 is a person or a character, as if all of this shit ain't us.
Right, like everything, like tomorrow, everything is gonna be.
Yeah, 2020 didn't do anything to us. We just had some high expectations, and then we had some humans who jacked it all up.
2020 ain't even a thing that's capable of doing a thing.
No.
Right.
Everything we dealing with is from us. You know what I'm saying? Well, we've done each other and then ourselves and the environment.
The humans.
100%.
But anyway, no, but see, Dr. Yasmeen, she for me, it was, I had been looking for a scientist, a doctor, an expert of color who I felt like I could trust, right? And so when I started hearing what she had to offer from a scientific standpoint about COVID and vaccines, and myths and facts too around healthcare, and even the disparities about how we receive them versus the rest of the population, that caught me, right? So that's like, oh, and she bad. So the bad then took the background and the information, you know, came to the forefront. And so I appreciate that. And I would like to have conversations with her because she also seems like she cool as hell. Like she quotes Lil Kim, right? But she's clear, but she got the UK voice. Y'all notice how, you know, whenever, like even in movies and shit, the UK British voice is like synonymous with like expertise and like, I know.
It is. It is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It is.
Yeah, intelligence and expertise, absolutely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's conditioning, though. But she happens to have that voice and appears to know what she's talking about. But I don't know how much of me thinks she knows what she's talking about because she got the voice.
Right.
You might be conditioned.
Like looking at her deliver the voice. I don't know.
Hopefully it's both.
Yeah. I would want her at my party though.
Okay, cool.
Then it's so on the other side of the spectrum, but still a similar side.
Okay.
It's this young lady named, y'all may have heard of Inglewood Barbie.
Oh yeah, I've heard of her.
And she dope, man. She's super dope. She bad too, but she young. I can't really see her like that. But she is like clearly hood as hell, unapologetically, and but she's doing dope shit. She feeds the homeless. She won't call them homeless. She doesn't call them homeless, which is cool. She calls them the friends, and it feels like she even takes offense when they're called homeless. Like she rides for them hard. I don't know what her background has been and exactly what prompted it, but she's
find out at the party.
Exactly, and that's probably why I would like to invite her. You know, but she clearly like she raw, right? Mm-hmm. She be out at all of the tent cities, whatever, feeding the friends. She set up a situation where she was feeding the friends out of a police station. I think the one over South Chicago. Mm-hmm. So she's doing dope stuff, and she's starting to get really recognized for what she's doing too. Like, you know, celebrities who want to be connected with someone doing the right shit. I mean, but it's a no-brainer though. You got somebody who that hood and doing that much good. It's like you gotta love it. Yeah. Lupe Fiasco. I've always been a fan.
I think you coming through with all the Chicago people.
Right.
Yeah, did that. Well, Yasmine, the doctor, she ain't from the crib. She from Chesterfield, Chatham, Worcestershire. But Lupe Fiasco, but similar to that nurse, to that doctor rather, I appreciate, and similar to Inglewood Barbie in a different way, dude is actually a lot. When he came out, I was a huge fan because I like his music. I don't think it's too many rappers that can see dude for real, like bar for bar. Mm-hmm. But I also know that like he lost a lot of people with the push, kick, skateboard, backpacker thing. But I knew, you know, that he could have easily hit the game on some, you know, 10 toes down deep in the drug game type. He from out west. his manager or whoever he was started his company. His company was called First and 15. Right,
Okay.
that's a reference to when motherfuckers getting their checks
Yeah.
and spending that check on dope. His man Chili was out west and is doing a billion years in the feds for a whole bunch of dope. And the thing is, at the time, and even more so now, and as has been the trend for a long time, is the drug dealer rap is like it's almost a no-brainer. And if you real with it and it's authentic, it's really hard not to succeed on some level. And he could have easily done that, and instead he went with a way more cerebral approach to the game that I dig it. And he also, and so in that way, I compare him to Inglewood Barbie, but in terms of comparing him to Dr. Yasmeen, he's also clearly well-read, intelligent dude, and it's good to see a dude from like the hip hop community or whatever, a rap cat, who can relate to street folks, talk about some of the things he talks about. So he discusses, he'll touch on a lot of things, but he's talked a lot about, he's hosted the awkward conversations that people are having around COVID and the vaccine and everything. And I think I'd like to chop it up with dude. He seemed like, it'd be good for dope conversations.
Okay.
Then there's a couple people who I'm happy to say I know personally. It's a brother named his name's Norman Teague. He's an artist. He's a furniture maker, black furniture maker, who's soaring, who's doing incredible shit. He's introduced me to some incredible opportunities. And I just met him a few years ago when I got out through another dude who I'd have at the party, Corey Gilkey from Leaders. Dude is like a Chicago streetwear, urban wear, whatever the name for it is, legend for real. And he's a hell of an entrepreneur and he's a hell of a connector. He's a dude, you bring him to the party, you gonna have people to party with for a long time. He's gonna introduce you to somebody dope and impactful. He just does that. Just his Rolodex is crazy and he keeps it open for good people. So he's a party that brings a party. But he introduced me to Norman a few years ago, who has since introduced me to so many great people and things, man, opportunities. Like I said, his brother making furniture. His furniture is in like galleries all across the country on some real high end, like, Hosh Pashi Gucci museum shit. So he makes dope shit, and he's all about employing Black folks, from all over the whole diaspora, right? And that's part of his theme. And so yeah, he's a dope dude, a dude people should know. And another one is a sister named Tanika Lewis Johnson. She created this folded map project where what she did is she took addresses from the south side of Chicago. I think most of them are from Inglewood, because I think she's from Inglewood, that have exact corresponding matching addresses on the north side of Chicago, like say 6500 South Halsted, and then 6500 North Halsted. And so she's comparing and contrasting and basically showing the disparity between, same address, vastly different situation and environment, right? The ghetto to the hood to Hollywood type shit. And it's dope. And it's something that, as Chicagoans, we've seen all our life, the tale of two cities type thing, you know what I mean? And so she's getting a lot of national coverage. She is also in her exhibit, and her work is being featured in museums and a lot of places where it needs to be seen, so people start having that conversation on a bigger place.
I think I saw a trailer for a short film about what she's doing. I think so.
I wouldn't be surprised. I know she did like a one-woman show about it. She's had videos and presentations, and she's been speaking all over the place about it. It's super dope. And matter of fact, she even started something in the same vein recently, where she's been interviewing people about their experiences while Black, like Black kids getting approached by police, and how their experiences are so much different from their white counterparts. So she's really forcing the conversation about race and inequity, and it is dope, and she's cool as fuck. And I met her through through a really good dude a year or two ago. And who else? What I invited to my party? I feel like I ain't.
Your party is gonna be like
from
very
Chicago.
thoughtful, right?
Inglewood
Cerebral.
Lupe Fiasco, Norman Teague, Corey Gilkey, and Tanika Lewis Johnson. The only one that's not from Chicago is Dr. Yasmeen. So
We got
you
some
have to
international flavor.
Yeah.
We got some hood. We got
That's
some
right.
walk the line.
Yeah, your party's real cerebral. Y'all gonna be sitting around talking all night.
Well, that's okay. That's what you
My
like.
party is a turn-up party.
No, don't get it fucked up though. So Norm, he gonna bring some Japanese whiskey.
Okay.
Corey a fool.
Oh, okay.
He a party that brings a party.
Okay.
Tanika, she from Inglewood. Inglewood Barbie hood as hell. She gonna turn up.
No
Lupe
judgment.
Fiasco was a damn rapper. And that Dr. Yasmeen, like I say, she be on her page talking about Lil' Kim. At the same breath, she be talking about,
I mean, we all talk
myths
about
around healthcare. No, I'm gonna have a slick ass party. We gonna be able to talk. I bet you. I'm gonna be in my section.
Okay.
I'll send a bottle or two over to y'all section, but we over here.
There's no separation. We going back and forth between sections.
It's cool too. We standing on couches reading books.
Reading books. Okay, I got a few more polls. I got a few more lists from the polls I took. All right, so let me see what we got. All right, so I've got Linnell, my friend Linnell. She says she's inviting Jennifer Lewis. She plays the grandmother on Blackish, which I know that she's a favorite of yours, Keisha.
She is.
Go ahead and buzz it one time. She said she'd also invite Eric Roberson, Viola Davis, Questlove, Dion Cole, also representing for Chicago. And she also added, I guess if we can invite anybody living or dead, she said she'd invite Chadwick Boseman, which, that okay there, Keisha. I know Chadwick was bae for you.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, he was pretty awesome, I gotta say. Also, I got Deion Steele. He said he'd invite Ice Cube because he want to talk with him about the contract with Black America. And if anybody knows Deion Steele, he is a Star Wars fanatic. So he said he'd invite Jon Favreau and Dave. I'm about to mess the name up because I think I wrote it down wrong. Filoni. I guess they're associated with Star Wars. Busta Rhymes. He said Busta Rhymes for kicking ass. He said I could come. So that's cool.
Yay.
He said Jerobe from A Tribe Called Quest. All right. Okay. Who else we got? Oh, back. The Hubs. My husband. He said he also, would like Ice Cube at his party. He said Mos Def, or as we know him now, Yasmeen Bey, right? Or did you change it again? I don't know.
No.
But he said he would invite him. And he said Ludacris, he'd want to talk with him about having dual citizenship. He's got dual citizenship to the country where his wife is from, Gabon. If I'm saying that correctly, yeah. All right, and he said Akon. He said he want to chop it up with Akon. All right.
That's a good one. We could talk about Akon's city he's building and all of that. Yeah, that's
a lot going on with Akon.
I would love to have a conversation with Akon. I got mixed feelings about Akon. I'd love to talk to him though to see if I could figure some more out. Yeah, right, yeah. So another ESG girl, Dana, she said like you, Keisha, Jill Scott. She said she could bless us vocally and spiritually. And I'm gonna come back to Dana's list because she said somebody that's on my list. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to my list now. All right. So first off, if we were at my house and this was a real party, I'd ask you what you're drinking, or I'd give you a drink. So what are you drinking tonight? I have a little rosé, a little sparkling rosé.
I have a little bit of hot tea with a tinge of makers in it.
Okay, so you got a little hot toddy going, a
little toddy going on. Hotty toddy.
What you like myself? Water?
Yeah, I'm drinking water. I ain't started drinking yet. I'm still finishing some 2020 work.
Okay, all right, no problem. But yeah, so if this was a real get together, or we weren't sort of isolated in this quarantine, you'd be at my house. I'd offer you something to drink. So I wanted to know. Okay.
So you would be having a house party, Shira?
Yes. So for me, I want a New Year's Eve party. And I tell people every time I do this, I don't know if you guys remember now, it's been a lot of years since the movie Brown Sugar, and they had the New Year's Eve party. It was just at the house and, with the big long, dining room table, everybody mingling about. Yes, a lot of conversations were had, but really warm and intimate. So you can really get a chance to, like feel and experience the people who are there, but definitely with some music, some really good music. And yeah, so I just want it to be really warm. So I would invite this year, I've written about her on the blog, Tabitha Brown.
Yay.
Yes, I think that she is, for a lot of people, she's that friend in your head, right? And
Right.
so for those of you
Who
who
is
don't
she?
know her,
Right.
she is a social media darling. In March, she started on TikTok with a video that her daughter, kind of encouraged her to put up, and within a few weeks, she was up to 1 million followers. She does uh, cooking demonstrations and recipes. And she does, like, motivational and positive messages sometimes. And she's got a big, beautiful afro. It's so fabulous that it has its own name. So when she talks about her, she calls her Donna. So it's Tabitha Brown and Donna.
And Donna.
Yes, and yeah, she's just really cool, and she just makes the whole vegan lifestyle seem more approachable to people who might think it's sort of um obscure or whatever. She demystifies.
Complicated.
Yeah, it makes so for people who might feel like it's complicated, she kind of demystifies it for people, and I think that's really cool, really cool. And she's doing something on her page now. She's partnered with somebody, and they're doing veganuary, where encouraging people to just try it for 1 month, a vegan lifestyle, veganuary.
I'm gonna name my daughter that.
You gonna name your daughter that?
January.
Veganuary, come here, girl. I don't know if
Bring me my purse.
right. I don't know if I can do vegan the whole month. That's a struggle for me. But I'm just saying, I'm being honest. But I might do vegetarian for a month, and maybe I could do January.
Vegetarian.
Huh?
Too many syllables. I don't know.
If you pronounce that wrong, people might get the wrong impression.
Yeah.
Okay. So what'd you say? I should probably do what?
Mine had too many syllables. I don't know. Vegetarian is what I said.
Well, let's try vegetan. No,
that's what I said. Is that what you said?
Vegetarian. So that's what I'm gonna call Vegetarian. Now name your daughter that. Okay.
I might. Her nickname gonna be Veggie.
Veggie. Yes, Vegetarian.
Bring me the remote.
And that's gonna be. I'm gonna dedicate that to Tabitha Brown. So not quite vegan, but I'll try Vegetarian. Who else I would invite? I would invite Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle has been on my guest list for a lot of years, but this year he gets an extra special invitation because during this COVID quarantine, what have you, I was when I would get on the treadmill, I would turn on the Chappelle show until he told me not to. He's been in the media talking about, don't watch the Chappelle show because he, hasn't been getting paid. And even HBO, who didn't want the show initially, they were showing the show and getting paid from it. They initially passed on it. And so I really like the way he talks about it because he admits that, in business, I mean, they have the right, but if you're my fan, please support me and not watch that, until maybe they can renegotiate where he gets a fair or fairer share of, the pie, so to speak. And it makes sense to me. He says a lot of things that we're all thinking. And man, I was really enjoying watching the Chappelle show on the treadmill. But I'll do that for Dave. I also invite Anthony Fauci, because he's been a soothsayer in all of this. He said that this thing would be as big as it has been, and he said that everybody would either be infected or affected. And we've seen a lot of that this year. He said that there would be a second wave. He also said that there would possibly be a new strain when the new cold and flu season came. Now I know he's really just following the science, but everything he said has come to pass. And I know that people have been trying to sort of silence him so that we couldn't get this information.
Certain people.
Huh?
Certain people.
Certain people. But everything he said has come to pass, and either he's really following the science or he's really a soothsayer. And if he's a soothsayer, I hope he has the numbers to the midday lottery. I can ask him that at the party. Plus, I want to see if he can let his hair down. I would send him in the man cave with my husband and see if he would drink a beer and like get chill, see how he would do. But I don't know, Johans. I think I maybe invite Dr. Yasmeen to the party. Maybe also, or I don't know, maybe instead, she might have the science. She might be more fun at a party than him. I don't know. But he was originally on the list. You're on mute. You're on mute.
You on mute.
Okay, my bad. Fauci actually strikes me as a dude who might actually be kind of cool though.
Yeah, like, at a party, yeah.
Yeah, like in general too, because he wasn't on board with the Trump bullshit, but so heavy. Seemed like there's some genuineness there. He seems like he can laugh at all this shit a little bit. He seemed like he's seen enough. He's seen enough to take only so much of it. So see, I could see dude being having some
fun at a party, yeah. So
yeah. But after his NDA expires, because I want to know the story behind. He's like, I'm standing there and this fool is saying these things, and I'm trying to hold my face straight. Like, I want to hear that story.
Yeah, I'm sure he has a lot of stories. Yeah. Next person on the list, I have. I'm not sure if you know her. She's Chef Babette. And she's she's a chef. She owns a cafe in Los Angeles. And she just posted pictures we talked about Regina Hall on her 50th birthday party. This lady is 70. And when I tell you, she's got. Huh?
A friend of mine just put me up on her last night. That's cold.
Yeah, she's
coincidence, huh?
Yeah. She is fit. And so more than even just about, how good she looks. Can you imagine like how well, her body is functioning just because she's taking care of it. She works out regularly every day. And she's pretty spicy when you get on her Instagram page. She explains things, she breaks it down, and she keeps.
Is she vegan as well?
She is vegan, and she does a lot more raw vegan recipes. And again, I'm a long way from that. Okay, but something to aspire to, and I think she would be really cool at a party.
You got to see it to know you can do it. See it to know you can be it, right? And so
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'm cheating a little bit, sorry, because I actually have 6. My 5th one is Courtney Kemp. You know who Courtney Kemp is, right? She's the co-creator. She's the creator and showrunner for Power on Stars, and I really think that that's cool. Like, it's a show that's very sort of male, but it's written and was created by a female writer. And I really like the way that the show has turned for book 2 with Ghost, where they follow Tyreek the son. But one of the really cool things she did during the pandemic is when everybody was at home, Courtney Kemp, she's got this great writing career and this great show that's on. She, on her Instagram page, she put out a call, said, hey, if you're an aspiring writer, shoot me a couple of questions and we can get on a Zoom call. So I did. And so I sent a couple of questions, and she chose my questions and a bunch of other people. And we had this private Zoom sort of workshop session with Courtney Kemp. She answered all of our questions. And I just really think that that's a cool way to use your time when you've got success and notoriety like that. I thought that was really cool of her to do that. And like I said, I like Power Book too. It's got my girl Mary J. Blige on there, so there's that.
And Method, right?
Oh, and Method. Oh yeah,
let's not forget.
Yes, and Method Man. Yes, so it's a win-win-win-win for me. Yes. And last but not least, my person that I know that I would invite to the party, that people are starting to know her. And so I want more people to know her. And she went to college with me. Her name is Christina Anthony. She plays Aunt Didi on the show Mixedish. You know, Mixedish is the spinoff for Blackish, and she plays Aunt Didi on the show. And I think she's fabulous. And not only that, when my niece had an opportunity to be on the show, and she was gracious, she was sweet and kind to her. So, you know, that's always a win to me, you know, when you're good to my people. Okay. So yeah, so she, and I really love her story because, you know, I knew her in college. We worked on plays together in college. And then afterwards she pursued acting after college, and you know, it was going pretty well. And then, like a lot of artists, she gave herself a time limit. Like, you know, she wanted to reach a certain level by a certain time. And it was nearing that time, and she was sort of, you know, trying to decide if she was going to still stay with it. And then all of a sudden she gets the biggest, you know, opportunity, you know, she says, of her life. And I know that this is just the beginning for her, and I want more people to know her. She's doing great things. So yes, Christina Anthony, Aunt Didi on Mixed Dish.
Aunt Didi.
Aunt Didi, yes.
So if your people came to my party, she could be hanging out with the famous people that I know.
That's right. Yeah, that sounds
that
like
I would be knowing. And
so
then
that would be good networking.
That would be good for her. That's good networking.
Yeah. So now I can tell you what Dana said. So, because Dana, she said Jill Scott,
Yes.
Tabitha Brown, and Donna, her beautiful afro. She said Billy Porter. Billy Porter. Yeah, he would be fun at a party. She said,
and he would have all the gossip.
Oh yeah, all the gossip on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And she also said Tobe and Wigwe. I hope I pronounced it right. And Fat, his wife. Yeah, I think he's really. I wish I had put him on my list, but he'll be there anyway because, you know, Dana invited him. So, and she said the Insecure girl. She said Issa Rae, Natasha Rothwell, Yvonne Orji, and Amanda Seales. So she cheated too. So she added them all as one, but they cover. So that's cool. Cheating. Yes. Sharnika, my roommate from college, friend. So when I asked her, she said Kobe Bryant. And if you know Sharnika, you gotta know she loves Kobe Bryant. So I did say that the people had to be alive, but she said she gotta have Kobe. So I said okay. So she said Kanye West. She said she want to talk to him. She's got some things she want to ask him. Okay. Jay-Z, and wants to talk to him about or ask him about the whole, you know, having ownership in the NFL.
And hopefully he's bringing Beyonce.
Oh yeah, you gotta bring Beyonce.
Okay.
James Baldwin and Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sharnika is really resuscitating the people.
Yeah, she's got some invitations for people that's got to go a long way.
Beyond the veil.
Yeah, beyond the veil. Yes. Lori, another ESG girl, she said Sunshine Avery and Jill Scott. So, you know, she's riding with, you know, most of the people we said too. Okay. And then my friend Devon, Poonie. So,
hey, Poonie.
You know, we started this a whole long time ago. We would do the whole Who's Invited. And she sent me her list. She said Regina King.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
I don't know how we missed her. And she said Curtis Jackson. She said she would invite Curtis Jackson. You know, 50 Cent, okay, but really she wanted to talk to Curtis Jackson. So I said, that's cool. And she said Kerry Washington. And she said she, you know, her husband would probably be her plus one. You know, he's in that new movie, Sylvie's Love.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And she said Chris Brown. She said, I just still think that little dancing guy would be fun at a party. Okay.
He's gonna kick off the dance battle, like the dance battle part of the night. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's good for that. And then she said Jayonce Carter.
Yep.
Because of course, you know, they come as a pair. She wants to come as a pair. Yes.
I'll take it.
And she said, you know, one, they only own libations, so they could bring that. And they're billionaires, so they can pick up the tab.
They can. And listen, I will sign all the NDAs that Beyonce wants me to sign, so I could party with the queen. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm signing too, just to be there. Just to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. All right. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic New Year's Eve, wherever you are, since we can't be together.
Chicago. Huh? I said Chicago.
Yeah, with your background. or whatever you're doing. I hope it's great. You got any resolutions or plans for the new year?
For me,
Both of you, anybody?
I just plan on focusing on being the best version of Keisha Ford that I can be. I don't know, Keisha Ford 4.7, whatever year this is, and just being very intentional about the things that I involve myself in and the things that I do and what I allow to come to me, and just maintain my peace.
All right. Yes, girl. Yes. That's what I'm saying to that. Yes. Yes.
You know,
What about you, Johans? What do you have planned? Any resolutions or plans for the new year?
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I don't really do resolutions. But it's other 364 days that count, But with those days, I'm focused on my business. I want to grow it. I want it to be. It's a lot I haven't done. I've been, sometimes you look up, you get caught up wanting to make everything right, and you look up and don't do shit because everything ain't right yet. And everything's right enough now for me to start doing more shit. And so I want to, I want to push my business, my leather work. I want to take a more artistic approach. And I want to get a little more involved with advocacy work. I want to do a little more to help some of these young brothers and sisters who are either headed down the wrong road or trying to get off of the wrong road. Because it's like they're clearly in need. So I want to keep doing what I'm doing and just multiply it a little bit and step it up.
All right, that sounds good. And so, for people who want to know more about your leather work, where can they find you?
So I'm on social media. My presence, so that's something that's part of stepping it up. My social media pages don't have half of the pictures of the stuff that they really should. I got a phone full of pictures of stuff that I've never posted. I need to start doing that. But it's Johans LaCour on Instagram and on Facebook. And yjlacour.com is the website. Check out the shoes. I'm gonna start putting some other stuff I'm doing on the website too. So they can
All
check.
right, sounds good. I'll make sure I link it below so people can do that. Keisha, you want people finding you?
no.
I'll put her stuff in there too, just so y'all know. But yeah, so they'll be able to find that below. And if I didn't tell you already, make sure you like and subscribe. We got more going. These are my two good friends, and they were invited today. But we'll have all sorts of people invited along the way, teaching me things, talking to us about things, and that sort of thing. Okay. All righty. Let's say cheers to a new year. You can just raise a fist if you don't. There we go. That's right. That's right.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining me. Maybe next time or another time or somewhere down the line, we can do this in person. Have a session where we can talk in person and not via via Zoom and social media. All right.
And I want to come back when I launch my OnlyFans page.
And I will help you launch your OnlyFans page. I'm trying to sign all the dudes I know up on OnlyFans.
I don't need your help, but I want to.
But you do.
And I appreciate the opportunity and the platform.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for joining me for my very first episode. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love it. I love you and thank you so much. You have a good one, okay?
Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
All right.
All right.